Hey everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and today is the first of a four-part series of videos that I'm doing, where I'm going to tell you why and how bikes and cycling can save the world. So if that's interesting to you, like and subscribe, and let's watch this video. So this is a concept that a lot of cyclists, such as myself, actually I don't consider myself to be a cyclist. I'm a bike enthusiast. But bike enthusiasts, cyclists, environmentalists, I shouldn't say all, but many of them believe this. And there's quite a bit of research and evidence to back this claim up. And if you think about the problems that the world is facing, they can kind of all be summed up as, climate change. This is a big problem. It's a huge problem. Whether you believe that humans are the cause of it or not, we can't deny that the climate is changing. Part of that is just the cyclical nature of the universe and Earth. It fluctuates. I've talked about in my Earth videos, when you're learning about the Earth, it wobbles, it moves, everything is fluctuating, so these changes happen. We enter glacial periods and ice ages, and we come out of them, and then we go back into one. Temperatures up and down. That does happen. However, the speed that these things are happening is concerning, and we are to blame. Or maybe not to blame for all of it, but we're to blame for how fast it's happening and how intensely it's happening. And even if we had zero blame, it would still behoove us to do something to try to slow this down, because after a certain point, we're not going to be able to survive. The Earth will go on. We won't be able to be on it, though. So it's a pretty big problem. Also, if you look at, I can only really speak to the United States because that's where I live, but we're not healthy. We are overweight. We are, people are diagnosed and dying of diabetes, of high cholesterol, heart conditions, high blood pressure, cancers, all sorts of things like that. Additionally, we're not mentally healthy. There's so many signs of us not being well. Insomnia, suicide, various addictions, school shootings, just people flipping out. We got them on camera, all these Karens and Kyles and whatever, just losing their damn minds. The aggression and just polarization of our political parties, the way that everybody's just at their throats. We've had a complete breakdown of our collective mental health, as best I can tell. If we ever had it, I don't know. Maybe we were always this way. I don't know. But it's bad right now. And that's going to contribute to a lot of problems that we're having. Also, back in the day, at least as I was told, I don't really remember this time period, we used to be more community driven. We used to be more like in neighborhoods and little, communities, I guess, where we looked out for each other more. Nowadays, everyone's kind of distant, even pre-COVID. Everybody kind of wants to keep their own space, just kind of want to be in their own little, on their phone, head down, mind their own business, wary of strangers. Not saying it's not justified. I mean, as I just said, people are generally not mentally healthy. A lot of crazies out there, a lot of bad people out there, or even if they're not bad people, making bad decisions. But our society has become very isolated, very. We're all very selfish, self-centered. Not necessarily a bad thing in and of itself. Like I said, I feel, good reason to be that way. But it's a problem. We don't necessarily see people and as our peers. And you don't have that empathy for them that we probably should have. And there's a very strong sense of otherness, which I feel like at this point in society, as far as we've come technologically and socially and all that, we should be beyond that. We should be better than that, and we're not. And then the most obvious thing is, or maybe you already said that, the environmental side of things. climate change and whatnot. Cost, economics, poverty, money, funding. That's resources. That's kind of the root of all evil, right? So all of these things, these four things, I'm kind of lumping them up: physical health, mental health, and like social health. I'm kind of lumping together: economics and environment. These four things that I think are the root of pretty much every problem that we have in the United States and even the world can be addressed on two wheels, which is crazy, right? Hear me out. There's a book. There's a couple of books, actually. One is called Bikeonomics, Bikeonomics by Ellie Blue. And then another is by Peter Walker. I think it's called How Cycling Can Save the World. I believe is the name of it. I haven't read either. But you should, and I'm going to. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's get into physical health. Physical health benefits of riding a bicycle. To me, these are fairly obvious, but not all of them. Riding a bike is fantastic because it is great cardio exercise. It improves your circulation. It's good, especially your lower body. It works your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, pretty much that whole lower body. If you're holding onto the handlebars, you get a little bit of arm and core engagement. If you're going no hands like I'd like to, you're working on some core engagement for sure. It's working on your balance, mobility, and just keeping those joints limber. And the thing that I really like about it is it's virtually, I would say, zero stress on the joints. If you're running or jumping and playing a lot of sports, even walking, there is impact. And so if you have bad knees, bad back, bad hips, anything like that, it can be hard on those joints. If you're, say, maybe overweight or have some sort of disabilities or injuries or something like that makes it hard to exercise in other ways, riding a bike may be a very good solution, especially if you can get like a three-wheel bike. What do they call those? I guess a tricycle. Or electric bikes. They're really accessible and accommodating and can make it so that anyone can ride a bike and get that exercise. They say with 30 minutes of exercise a day, you can improve your quality of life, improve your health significantly. Let's see. The diabetes. Last summer, or last spring, perhaps, I went to the doctor and they tested my blood sugar. And I wasn't diabetic. I wasn't even pre-diabetic, but I was inching close to that cutoff point. Over the winter, with COVID and everything, we couldn't go out, we couldn't do a lot of stuff, so we were just partying it up, eating birthday cakes, all of our birthdays over the winter. So birthday cake and Halloween candy and Valentine, all that stuff. And we weren't getting out. I wasn't really able to go to the gym like I had been doing. Can't ride our bikes. Blood sugar levels started to go up, gain some weight. And so I started monitoring my blood sugar. I got one of those little monitors, and I found that I could eat anything I wanted. I could have pancakes with a side of hot fudge ice cream sundae and wash it down with a root beer if I wanted. I would never do that, but I could, as long as I rode my bike afterwards. 20-minute bike ride, 10-minute bike ride even. My blood sugar, I would test it before the ride, like after eating terrible food, and then test it again after I got back. Sometimes it was a short ride. I'm seriously 20 minutes. It's nothing. And it would drop 80 points sometimes, 100 points even. It was just crazy how fast it would drop just from a casual. I wasn't going super fast or up hills or anything. It was just flat land, leisurely ride on a Sunday morning after eating pancakes for breakfast. And blood sugar down, 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 down. So fast and easy. And so that really showed me, I was like, wow, that's significant. I started losing weight. I mean, as soon as it got warm and we were able to go out and do stuff, I was going to lose weight anyway. But that's what happened. It worked. It worked really well. I don't even bother to test my blood sugar anymore. The weight came off. I exercise often enough where it's a non-issue now. 20, 30 minutes of that type of exercise can do that. It also, this one I thought was kind of fun, is that, like I said, it really works those glute muscles, which is going to give you a very nice booty. And everybody likes to have a nice butt, right? You want to look good? Mm-hmm. Improves circulation, improves sexual performance. Mm-hmm. We all like that, right? Right? That's good for you. And then you're also getting fresh air and sunlight. Sunlight helps your body produce vitamin D, which a lot of people, I would dare say everyone, especially people who live in these colder climates, especially people with melanin, we don't get as much as we can. And if you are deficient in vitamin D, that can have a lot of negative health impacts. I've learned recently, well, not that recently, maybe a year ago, that COVID-19 is vitamin D helps a lot with that. So it helps you prevent you from getting it in the first place. But if you do get it, it helps reduce the symptoms and kind of make the not get as sick and get it through your system and get over it quicker and with less complications. So that was a huge incentive. We started taking vitamin D every day and go outside as much as we can. There's studies that say it's beneficial, like especially for kids, try to get them outside 100 hours per year, which is a lot. Is it 100 hours? I think it is 100 hours a year, which you probably have to make an effort to do. Maybe it's 1,000 hours. Maybe 100 is not that much. It's not even an hour every day. Maybe it's 1,000 hours. I can't remember, but it was a lot. You want to get outside as much as you can. It's truly beneficial to your physical and mental health. And mental health is what I'll talk about in the next video, part 2. So I don't want to get in that one too much. But that fresh air and being outside does wonders for you. And that little bit of exercise will also help you to sleep better. I forgot the exact process, but it's balance between cortisol and melatonin. So the melatonin helps you to sleep. Cortisol, the two of them, for some reason, there's like a conflict between the two. I didn't fully understand it, but by exercising, it may raise your cortisol a little bit initially because cortisol is produced when under stress, and working out can be kind of a stressor, if it's intense, but it'll eventually help balance it, which will allow the melatonin, once the cortisol is reduced, melatonin can kick in, and it's going to help keep your rhythms neutral, help you to fall asleep better. If you sleep better and sleep longer, you are going to be in a better mood. You are going to be able to concentrate better. You're not going to be tired. Every single aspect of your life and your body is going to improve. So I think that's it as far as physical health, the benefits of cycling. Weight loss, mobility, balance, lower body strength, circulation, lower blood pressure, lower blood sugar, better sleep. I mean, it's great. It's great with minimal impact or like impact on your joints. So that's why you should ride your bike. Part 2, we'll go about mental health and then, the other stuff that I talked about before. If you enjoy this series, like and subscribe. If there's something I forgot or wasn't clear on, please leave a comment. I am going to try to start riding my bike as soon as it gets warm. I'm going to try to make that commitment to commuting more, but we'll get into that in the next videos. Thanks for watching.